Welcome to AG Chelsea TV. In this video content, we take a look at the latest Chelsea news. All news is collected by us from reliable and quality sources. And now to the main content. According to the Mirror, the Morocco international was left frustrated after his loan move away in January fell through. Deadline day was supposed to end with Ziyech sealing his temporary move to PSG, and getting away to what was a sinking ship as far as Chelsea's season was concerned. However, things didn't go through for the 29-year-old, and he was left desperately searching for answers as the window slammed shut. It seems as if the attention of the higher-ups was far more on securing the club record deal for Enzo Fernandez, after a month of fierce negotiations. This saw an unhappy Ziyech return to the club where he had struggled to establish himself as a starter at all since his £33 million move. Reports have claimed that Hakim Ziyech is set to be one of the first players to leave Chelsea this summer. Manchester United could offer Harry Maguire as part of their bid for Chelsea midfielder Mason Mount. According to reports in the English media, it is believed that the Red Devils are aware that Mauricio Pochettino is a fan of Maguire, having previously tried to sign the England international when he was Tottenham boss. However, fans on Twitter have laughed off suggestions that Maguire, who earns £190,000 a week at United, would be of any interest to the Blues. There are plenty of reasons why Chelsea would not be interested in Maguire. Firstly, his poor form over recent seasons means Pochettino is unlikely to be as keen on signing him now as he was a few years ago. Secondly, the club needs funds from Mount's sale to stay in line with financial fair play rules, so agreeing to swap deal would not make any sense. Zacharia has confirmed that he will Chelsea to return to Juventus at the end of his loan spell this summer. According to Fabrizio Romano, the Switzerland international will return to the Old Lady after new manager Mauricio Pochettino asked the Blues not to trigger the buy option in his contract. He signed for Chelsea on loan last summer. The 26-year-old is a stable defensive midfielder who can double up as a centre-back on occasions, but it is in the destroyer role that he thrives. He would have been a good replacement in the long run for N'Golo Kanté or even Jorginho, who left us in January to join Arsenal on a permanent basis. But it seems Poch doesn't fancy him. He has sent a farewell message to the Blues ahead of his return to Turin, which reads, "It's been a tough time, but you guys always had my back. Thanks to everyone who's been supporting me. Let's focus on beautiful memories." The announcement of Leo's new lucrative deal with the Rossoneri appears to be imminent, according to Fabrizio Romano and reports in Italy. The details of this contract have been known for some time. Indeed, Romano claims that Leo had already signed the deal several weeks ago. The Portuguese's previous release clause sat at €150 million. His new one is believed to have risen to €175 million, putting him out of the price range of most European clubs. Nevertheless, Chelsea was still, as recently as a few weeks ago, reported to be trying to strike a deal for the 23-year-old. Uncertainty over Leo's new contract lingered for some time due to the dispute between AC Milan and Sporting CP over his aborted deal with the Portuguese side. Leo had unilaterally terminated his contract after Sporting supporters stormed the club's training ground. The Court of Arbitration ruled that he would have to disburse €20 million in compensation to his former club, a fee Chelsea were prepared to pay in the event of a move and one which the Rossoneri, after lengthy negotiations, have now agreed to shoulder. Jesus enjoyed a bright start to his Arsenal career following a £50 million move from Manchester City last summer, but was then ruled out for several months after injuring his knee during Brazil's World Cup campaign. The 26-year-old returned to action in March and scored 6 goals in Arsenal's final 10 games as Mikel Arteta's side finished second, 5 points behind Manchester City. While Ben says Jesus has been brilliant for Arsenal, he admits he is often left frustrated by the Brazilian and claims Romelu Lukaku would be a more prolific goalscorer for the Gunners. Lukaku is due to return to Stamford Bridge this summer, but both the player and the club are ready to cut ties, with a permanent move to Italy likely. Asked if would take Lukaku at Arsenal, ex-England striker and Gunners supporter Bent told TalkSport, "Yes, without a doubt. I'm not getting rid of anyone, but I'll have him. He would get us more goals than Gabriel Jesus. What Jesus has done at Arsenal was brilliant, but there were times where he'd frustrate me because he wasn't in the box enough." The 23-year-old will return to Atletico Madrid this summer after Pochettino, following his Chelsea head coach appointment on Monday, communicated his decision to not try to keep Felix after his loan spell. The Portugal international previously expressed his happiness in England, but Pochettino was given the final say, and the forward, who scored 4 goals in 20 appearances at Chelsea, is not part of the 51-year-old's plans next season. Now the Atletico boss has spoken for the first time on the decision for Felix to return to Madrid, and has issued his demands to the attacker ahead of pre-season. Joao is an Atletico de Madrid player who, if he does not have a place at Chelsea, as Pochettino apparently said, he will have to come to Atletico de Madrid, he will have to work with us again, and obviously we will be willing to give him the best for that he can improve in what we believe is important. Simeone told El Partidazo de Cope, he has enormous conditions, he heads well, he hits well with both legs. He will be what he wants to be. It is a reality that is shown in the game. The Argentine was confirmed as Graham Potter's permanent successor earlier this week, and his immediate focus has centered on trimming a bloated squad which became unmanageable last season. Reports claim Pochettino is willing to let as many as 12 first-team players depart, and Chalobah is among a clutch of stars who could be deemed surplus to requirements. The 23-year-old only signed a new long-term 6-year deal last November, and has proven a useful and versatile squad member for a number of Chelsea managers over the last 3 seasons, and, according to The Athletic, Chalobah has no intention of giving up on his Chelsea career, despite Champions League finalists Inter being keen to cash in on the uncertainty which has engulfed Stamford Bridge. Chalobah has seen the likes of former teammates Fikayo Tomori and Tammy Abraham thrive in Serie A, while Ruben Loftus-Cheek is also closing in on a summer move to AC Milan. But the defender still believes he can carve out a future under Pochettino at his boyhood club, and he is far from alone in refusing to be eased out of the picture. Speaking about his future recently, he said, "It is true it was a difficult season," he said. "For me it was a very hard welcome, because to come to the Premier League and have a season like this was not what I was thinking about. But football is like this, life is like this, you have to learn from every moment of this season to not do it again next season. For me it was a good season to understand the football in the Premier League, it was a big chance for me. I learn a lot about me, I learn a lot about the club and football in the Premier League, so for the future it will be good. I hope next year we are going to see a better version of Chelsea and a better version of me to help the team and to win something next year." And that is also the last content in today's video. If you enjoy the video, please leave us one like and one subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell to not miss the latest content from us.